Alright, hi guys, welcome to another review. I am so sorry that the lighting is not the greatest here. Before getting this started, I was trying to plug my ring light in, and turns out the piece in it broke off. That allows the actual light part to come through. So, we're just kind of stuck with this. I'm planning on buying a new one, but just wanted to address that at the start. But I got Toshiro Hitsugaya here from the 1,000-Year Blood War part of the anime, of the Bleach anime, and I want to do a review on him. So let's go ahead and jump right into that, and we'll start with the faceplate I have on him first. You get this looking off to the faceplate, or looking off to the side faceplate. You get a teeth grit, kind of angry face. You get a shocked looking face. It kind of reminds me of the faces they make in Bleach Rebirth of Souls when you perfect vanish. That's one thing I love about all the surprise faces in this line, is that's what it really reminds me of. You get a really nice yelling face with him, which is a lot more angrier than his other one where he has his teeth gritted. And then you get the face that comes on him in the box, which is a neutral face. And something I want to show off is you can take his head off and remove the scarf. And you can also take off his Zanpakuto. If you want kind of that early Bleach look, you can always just put his, you'll have to take his head off. But you can always put his Zanpakuto with its hilt, or not hilt, with its sheath on his back. And it kind of gives you that early Bleach feel, but personally, I like it with the scarf, and plus it is 1,000-Year Blood War Toshiro, so the scarf is going to be on for the remainder of the video. We'll get into his articulation, and then we'll get into his hands he comes with once we get there. For your articulation, he can look up about that far. He can look down that far. His arms come up about about there. Looking off to the side though, they go all the way out. His elbows do get a good 90 degree. You gotta, if you really want his arms to go all the way up, you gotta rotate this piece, and even then they're still kinda finicky, and that's about as far up as you really want to get it, or you will pop them out of socket, as shown there. He comes with, he does have a wrist peg which can spin. Now for his hands, he comes with one hilt. I'm gonna put my thumb over his face so the camera will focus. He comes with a hilt grabbing hand. He comes with 2 Zanpakuto grabbing hands, 2 open palm hands, and then 2 fisting hands, which will come on him in the box. Now, for his final accessory he comes with, I'm gonna put on his grabbing hands. He comes with, not Daigyorin, Yorin Maru. He comes with Yorin Maru, which is his Zanpakuto, and you can also take, just like the rest of these figures, you can take his handle out of the sheath and stick it back in the accessory box, or do whatever you want with it. Now, the reason I put Yorin Maru in his hands is so you guys can also see his range that he can get. Because you can get him in a pose where he's holding Yorin Maru with both hands. I don't pose him up like that, but, you know, you can if you want. Oh, back to his, because we got down to his hands. He can cross his arms, granted that's with his elbows bent. Unbent, though, that's as far out as you're gonna get. Going back, though, articulation-wise, you can get him to go pretty much all the way back. You can get him to ab crunch about that much. If you saw my Byakuya review, you'll know that this back piece kind of back in here really limits the ab crunch in here, so you could always, and I mean, this is always optional, you could go on eBay and go buy a captain's cape for him and take off the whole captain's cape, so that way his ab crunch is actually functional, which is up to you. And for his leg range, he kicks up that far, just like the rest of them. He gets pretty good leg range. That's as much knee bend as you're going to get on both legs. He does have toe articulation. And then his ankle goes down that far and up that far. Now, I will also say, if you get Toshiro, and also I forgot to mention on the back, it has his number 10, since he's the squad leader of, or the captain of squad 10. There we go. But okay, well, something else I did forget to mention is he is a lot smaller than your other captains. And it's even like that with the figure, so like, we'll grab Renji, because I just kind of have Renji nearby off to the side, and get him fully stood up. But, like, even up against Renji, which I know Renji's like the tallest one in this line, besides Kenpachi, I think. But like, that's their size difference right there. And he is even shorter than Byakuya as well, which, my Byakuya is on a stand because of his effect that I gave him, but even without it, Byakuya still's got at least a whole head on Toshiro. Now, for another SHF line comparison, because I don't have a lot of my other figures out, because I am moving soon, might touch more on that at the end of the video. But, okay, we'll get SHF Tanjiro. Him and Tanjiro are around the same size, for the most part. So, and if you have a SHF Tanjiro, he's a decent sized figure, so it's not like Toshiro is tiny, it's just his body that makes him look really, really small. For another figure brand comparison though, just because it's one of my few figures that aren't packed right now, here's him compared to a 6-inch, well, I don't know if he's 6-inch, but here's him compared to, Jack-specific Collector Tails. We'll do another Jack-specific comparison. Here's him compared to Jack-specific Samus. And just to get a custom figure in here, slash tiny figure, here's him compared to my Sans custom I have. Overall though, he scales really well with everybody else in the Bleach line. Which, granted, I only have Renji and Byakuya, but I'm hoping to get the rest of the line soon, which, when I do, there will be reviews about those. But overall, he's a really fun figure just to kind of mess around with and pose. Because you can get him in some, I mean, even on the back of the box, they have some poses here that you can put him in, and they show off their different face plates. But, I've had a lot of fun posing him. He's been out of the box for just a few days now, because I wanted to mess with him so that way the joints weren't really stiff on camera. But he's a really good figure. Oh, I forgot to mention, he does not get any back crunch at all, by the way. So if you want to use that back piece to help him look up more, you can do it, but it's mostly going to be mainly in the hips. But he's a really good figure. I mean, very small. I got mine off of Amazon for about $45. So overall, I would recommend picking him up if you really like Toshiro as a captain or just as a character. And plus, he's, in my personal opinion, for a smaller figure as well, he's a really good pickup for the Bleach line as well. So with that being said, that's going to bring this review to an end. I know this one is a lot shorter, but at the same time, a lot of the Bleach line is mostly reused parts, which is fine, because I mean, if you watch the show, it's fair. But that's going to bring this review to a close. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.